Looking at the order approval process, I'm going to pass over to Chris to talk us through that process.
Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're on Zendesk, and at the bottom of the screen will be with fleet orders come in. What I'm looking for here is a new order created, and there's no project reference beside it, so it's a brand new one. It's not been assigned to anybody, so I'm going to click into it, and first of all, I will take a look at it, go and open Nexus. I'm going down to the approved orders, new orders, sorry, no approved orders, that's correct. And we can see at the top, this is the one that we're linked to on Nexus. So just click the open. And the first thing I'm going to look for here is scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to look for the signed order form. Basically, what we're looking for here is that there's a Q&Q reference and that it's for 3 trailer smarts. So I just need to make sure that on Nexus, this is the exact same thing that has been selected. So we can see the trailer smart camp here, and there's 3 different vehicles, and that's the registrations for them. So that's a very basic, simple one. There would be different options here if it was other products to be installed, and they would have different tick boxes and registrations beside. Same process, just matching up between the signed order form and Nexus, that everything matches as is. So what I would need to do is, if there's notes, so it's basically please install as soon as possible. If there's anything out of the ordinary where it might need specific monitor or different wiring, etc., or specific regs are getting specific cameras, etc., these would all be in the notes. So I just simply copy the text. And I would just add that to the bottom of my Zendesk ticket, just so that the guys can see it rather than going into Nexus. You know, it's just all there for them when they first go onto the order. So I'm going to leave that for now. And what I will do now is I can accept the order. And just click submit. That will move it now down into the projects tab. So if I go in there, what I'm looking for is the project reference. So it's top of the list there, and that's this project ID here. So I'll copy that across again and just put it into the Zendesk ticket, just for easier record keeping. So what I would typically do now is I need to copy all this information into my order management sheet, which is just where we keep it for looking at likes of priority and things like that. So I'm going to support docs. There we go.
And this document, Chris, would who all would have access to this?
So everybody has access to this. Where is it in? Is it in stock? It is in stock. I usually just have it open. There it is. Stock management sheet. It's not. It's in orders, is it? Possibly in orders. I usually just hit the search bar and hit it. Do you know what I mean? No, it's not in there.
Who's be searching? We can just file path.
File path, yeah. So
yeah.
This. Yeah, so I'm really the only one that looks at this now. Everybody has access to it. It's just mainly for me, for keeping an eye. We'll show you here whenever it's open. So we have everything tabbed out. This one, for example, there wouldn't typically be anything highlighted or anything like that. That would just be the priority order. This order is actually complete as to where we can do it. There's just stock issues, which is holding the order up. Okay. So that's just going to stay as priority 1. If there's a list of, they just come in as they are. So each new order goes to the next priority number, unless, you know, specified that it's a rush, you know, that it needs to jump the queue basically.
Yeah. And sorry, what's the options there in priority? Just standard? Is it low, high, or? Yeah,
but it's usually a standard, or we change it to high or rush, you know. But
okay,
we don't typically. It doesn't happen, you know. We're usually on top of the order, so they just come in and out as and when we input them. So again, I'm just filling in what we have. So I need to go back and get my project reference again. Just copy it in. The Q&Q, which was on our signed order form. So here we've got not started, in progress, on hold. And I haven't changed this one, so I'll just do that while I'm in there. That one's on hold. So they all go in, obviously, not started, until I would then assign it to a member of staff who's going to complete the order. So not started, business development manager is Gary Wilson, so it's going to follow in. Now we can see that on Nexus Zendesk. You know, if you're not sure, there's an easy way to find out who the business development manager is associated with that account. Assigned to here is just where I would associate a member of the team. I don't do that at this stage. Just get all the information in, and there typically might be 2 or 3 orders on. As I say, we've got quite a few complete last week. So say Stephen, for example, might be assigned one. Terry, I would then give it to the next guy available, basically.
Okay.
The signable date is what is on this order form. Now that's what we work off. As soon as this is signed, that's sort of our countdown will start, that we need to get it complete within X amount of time. So we can see that this one was signed on the 24th. Now we can't actually action it until the order is put on the Nexus.
Okay.
So I would prepare this. Typically, I've left this one blank, but I would fill this in this stage. I couldn't put my project reference in yet until obviously it is input in Nexus, but I would fill in all the information just to give myself and the team an idea of what orders are coming up, so we can be prepared for them. That order was put on just today, so it's only three units. So estimated number of days would be 1. That's not an order that's going to take much time to go through. Anything over the likes of, say, between 5 and 10, depending on the solutions associated with it. You know, if it's just tracking, simple. You know, but if it's getting a DVR, if it's getting a camera system, if it's getting trackers, if it's trailers, etc., we just judge it by that. You know, five vehicles getting the full kit out might take 2 days, sort of thing.
Okay, so it's really the number of units and the complexity of the job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Determined.
Like,
okay.
It's hard to put a concrete number on that, because, for example, we had an order there of 50 trailer tracking units on Friday that was done in 1 day. Now, if that was 50 units made up of different product solutions, different vehicles, as you say, complexity, I would have given that maybe 4 or 5 days. So again, I don't fill in this yet. Order start date, completed date, or estimated date until I assign it to the member of staff. So we know that it's 3 vehicles and it's 3 units. And again, it's 3 columns, so it's 3 tracking units.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just ask one more question on that, Chris?
Yeah,
the estimated number of days it's going to take. So say you were off on annual leave and someone had to take on this task, and they were unsure how long. Would you liaise with engineers, or what solution would there be there?
It's like there would be a member. There's Dan, there's Gary, there's multiple people. Even like Stephen, who's done the orders, would know how long it's going to take him to complete that. So it would take just communicating with somebody else in the office. But again, the good thing is that obviously it can change as we get busy, but we're on top of the order. So when I see that Nexus order date and the signable date is where we're working from, we basically have in around 10 days currently. Now the process is going to change for a small order like that. We should have it ready within 5 working days from the signed order date. Okay. So again, if I'm off or what have you for a day or 2, the estimated number of days, this is only for us. You know, this isn't anything that's concrete that has to be put in place. This is just to give me, basically help me balance the orders, etc. You know, plan ahead. But as I say, with the estimated number of days, the guys will know themselves when they're doing the order how long it takes them to do. Okay. So it would be easy for somebody else to fill in with completing this spreadsheet. And I'm just going through the rest of this to say this, we're not taking any of these. So you can see obviously at the top, we've got Canon, we've got Squirrel, 4-channel DVR, 8-channel DVR, DigiDL, RDL, dash cam, side scan. These are the main solutions, that's the one. Solutions. Yeah. So on this, I'm not putting in, you know, if it was a DVR and we're getting 3 cameras each, I'm not inputting that here. Those sort of notes and information will all be in Nexus. Yeah. It's again, it's just a bit of a.
And you have to go with Nexus. What Nexus says is what.
Yeah. So on the chance that if Nexus if the information didn't match up, for example, you know, the signed order was only for 3, the business development manager, whoever inputted this, had 4 on, I would reject the order
Okay.
because you can't edit it. So it would have to be rejected. I would communicate with them and say, look, it doesn't match. Or if I was to get this signed order form, sorry, I should have shown this at the start. There's where it's signed by the customer. So if this isn't signed, we don't action it. This is basically there, you know, this is the, what would you say?
Go ahead.
The go ahead, you know, this is the signed agreement. So without
Yeah.
it being signed, we can't go ahead and process anything. There would be sometimes notes put in here
Mm-hmm.
where it might say the customer's going to self-install, you know, things like that, anything out of the ordinary. But again, those notes on the signable, the business development manager would typically put into Nexus.
Okay. Yeah.
So once I have that done, I will go back to the Zendesk ticket. So I've got the project reference ID and we've got the notes in there. I typically would just then submit it back as new. So it's in the queue again, just so it sticks out essentially. You know, you can't miss it then because it hasn't been assigned to a member of staff yet, but I can go ahead and do that now because we don't have any other orders sort of on the go.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is simply go into the ticket and assignee, and for this one I will assign to Stevie. So whenever I submit that as new, that will pop into Stevie's queue and he'll get an email notification as well. So
Okay.
then I can go back into my order and we're going to say that the order start date is going to be today. And estimated order complete date will also be today because it's just 3 tracking units, a small order. And I just need to go across and assign to Stevie. And I'll leave that as not started until I know that he's picked up the ticket and we've spoken about the order. We typically discuss them first anyway, you know, he'll say, oh, do you want me to start that now that the Zendesk tickets are cleared up, etc. Once he has said that, I'll change that to in progress.
Okay.
And that'll get us into the rest of the stuff that we've gone through, sort of. And that is about all of it on the order approval stage.
Okay. Can I ask one question around the whenever you have to reject? So something doesn't reconcile, something doesn't match, and you have to reject. So who gets? How does the person get notified? The same thing. They get an email saying it's been rejected.
Yeah, so
and then
they get an email. I'll see if I have anything.
That'd be order my own.
Oh well, we'll do it for Dan here. And if I go on to, and what was the order number, Dan? Test. So if I go to approve orders.
Get into so either order.
Either or, doesn't matter. So we'll look at that, and for example, we'll say that we've opened the signed order form and there's only one on it. So I can reject from here or go back and reject. So I'll go from here and I could just put a note. Signed order does not match Nexus. Go. And Dan will get an email then because he's assigned to that, and it'll come up as the subject as Nexus orders, and you'll see the note there. And then obviously that typically I would pick up the phone anyway to let them know, you don't have to reject this, you can't edit it. Can you resubmit the order with the correct information on it?
Okay.
There's also a trigger that goes to our finance team on both when it's accepted and rejected. So they'll know and they'll chase the BDM then to say your order's been rejected, you need to reprocess if they haven't picked up the email, you know.
Yeah, perfect. And sorry, that trigger from finance when it's accepted. So finance, what does that do? That gives the green light for finance then to.
It's more so they can keep their eye on it.
Keep their eye on it. They'll then also get a trigger whenever we have completed the order on our side, which means that the kit's going to be then sent out, whether the engineer sent out collecting, but it gives them the okay to bill for the upfronts, as they call it. So as soon as the stuff leaves here, they can bill for the upfronts as soon as they know it's with the engineer.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me just stop recording.